Hey, what's up? Hello, good people. Welcome to today's video thingamajig, where I will be sharing with you some study techniques, specifically 5 of them, that are going to help you to get the marks that you want, that you deserve. Well, same thing. So unlike last week's, was it last week? I think it was last week. Unlike last week's video, today I'll be focusing on what you should and should not do when you are studying, like specifically usufunda ke manje ukuthi what are the do's and don'ts if you want a distinction or if you want distinctions. Okay, so tip number 1, strategize your studying. So by strategizing your studying, I mean that you do not study randomly. You have a plan on what you want to study on the day. And then you just penga incwadi zakho. But what you're gonna do is this, okay, you are going to separate your work into category. If you are looking at, let's say, maths, for example, you are going to separate it into don't know, partially know, and good or no, So what you're gonna do is that in this category, you are going to put all the topics that are hard to you, that give you troubles. In this category, you're going to put the medium questions, and in this category, you're going to put the best ones, like the showcase BAM question. And what you're gonna do is that when you are studying during that period of time, you are going to start with the hard ones, and then you're going to include 1 or 2 of the middle ones. Why? This will encourage you ukuthi feeling accomplished, like because one, une topic exakayo. 2, we are ukufunda, like the session has come to an end and it's still the question layer or the topic. So what you're gonna do is that you are going to start with the harder questions, and referring back to last week's video, you are going to ask for help whenever you're dealing with that question, or that topic, and then before you finish, you just do a medium question. I hope you're understanding this. And then towards the writing day, you are going to be covering the easy questions and the medium questions. Then you are already good at, so that gives you a higher chance of success. These are sorted, you studied them. These in the middle are backups, they are good also, and these are your showcases. And this is just a little bit out of topic, but also when you're writing, start with the ones that you know. Because uzotuqala ngalanzima, uphelelwe isikhathi, end up not getting the marks that you deserve, and uphunyuke kanjalo ku distinction. So first things first, start on what you know. When you're writing, start with what you know, and then you move on down the line. So for tip number 2, I would say you should find the strategy that works for you. So it is we as people, we are not the same. So our methods of studying are not gonna be the same. The method that works for us is not gonna be the same. So it's important that you find that what works for you. For example, some learners or some people prefer to study just by writing notes. It gets into his or her mind. Some they read, some they make mnemonics, like songs and pops and stuff. So when you're going to do what works for you, here is how you would know if you need to change your study strategy. If your study strategy that you're currently using is not yielding you the marks that you want, then you need to change it. It sounds obvious, but it's not so obvious. I wish someone told me last year that, because I used an incorrect study method, which young shy at term 1, but then when I changed it term 2, things were great. So, for example, I am now a blurter. I talk when I study. And maybe you would find that helpful. Maybe you'd find note making helpful. Maybe you'd find singing helpful. Moral of the story is that you should find the study strategy that works for you. Okay, moving on to tip number 3 now. This one is one that I just recently discovered myself, but it works and you should try it also. Okay, do you notice how when you study for long periods of time, your mind just tends to be like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to take in more information. Let me alone. Let's quit. I'm not doing this anymore. Sure. So in those instances, what you're gonna do, listen carefully, what you're gonna do is going to take a 5-minute break, and after that 5-minute break, you are going to change the place that you're studying. I know this is not an option that is available to everyone, but if you can, please implement this. You are going to change the venue of where you're studying. This tricks your brain into thinking, okay, fine, we are no longer in the same place that we were at. Shooty, I must relax. And then you are able to carry on. For me, it works. I've used it, and possibly gonna continue using it up until I get this degree in my bag. I bag this degree. So this is a great segue to tip number 4. Okay, the fourth tip that I can give you is breaks, and breaks. Whenever you're studying, it is so crucial and so important that you take breaks in between, because there is a point that I was referring to in the last slide, where your brain says, okay, I'm done, I don't want to do this. So what you're gonna do is take breaks in between. So the strategy that I used and that I'm currently using is, well, I call it the 30 to 5 method. It does not make sense, but then that's how I call it. So what you're gonna do is study for 30 minutes, take a 5-minute break. Simple as that. And please be strict on your timing, because those 5 minutes can turn into 10, can turn into 20, and then you know. But then this needs your self-control. But study for that 30 minutes, take a 5-minute break. You know what this does? This makes you study for longer periods of time without you noticing, because of the little 5-minute breaks in between. Also, what you're gonna do, if maybe you are planning on going for, let's say, 3 hours, after after an hour and 30 minutes, you are going to extend that break to 10 minutes and then go back to the 30 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 minutes. I hope this makes sense. Last but definitely not least, tip number 5. Okay, for tip number 5, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. You are going to test yourself. You have studied, you have gained the information, you have consumed the knowledge. Well, theoretically, now test yourself. Get previous question papers, get previous classworks you can do, get for mathematics and physics and all those calculation-based subjects. You can get ibalo. You can even go on YouTube to get some information. You can even to get some questions that you want to do. You can Google, anyway, any source that you can get, use that source to get questions that you can test yourself, so that you know where to focus on next time you're studying. Sometimes you tell yourself that you know something, but then when you test yourself, you don't really know it. So what you're gonna do is going to test yourself, and then when you do test yourself, you will know where to focus on, or where to sorry, English is not my mother's language. Yeah, it's not my mother. It's not my mother tongue. Never mind English. So you know where to focus on next time you are studying. So those are the study tips that you can implement when you are studying next time, so that you can get a distinction and increase the percent lokupasa esikoleni sakho and take your principal to the ICC, because that is what you are capable of. Once again, as a reminder, please do subscribe if you're not subscribed. Do comment whatever you need me to show you next. Could it be a vlog? Could it be educational? Could it be entertainment purposes? Whatever. And do share the video to your grandma, your dad, your mom, and whoever is in your family and friends, so that we grow this channel together. With all that said, my job here is done. Bye.